Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live. Talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynncullenshow@gmail.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
Yep, that is I. C'est moi. January 30. We're almost into February, Groundhog's Day, and, whatever. Hi. It's a Tuesday. Susan should be there. Hello.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, my voice came out okay. I haven't said a word yet.
I know you didn't croak.
I didn't say
good.
Even one word. I've been running around getting things organized.
Are you heading up to...
I'm heading north.
Yeah.
And our brother's there.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Can't keep track of my... I
didn't know he was there either.
My nomadic siblings. I am the stick in the mud. I sort of just stay in one place. They're always moving around. So, Suze.
Yeah. Did I just call your house accidentally?
No.
Okay.
If you did, I wouldn't even know because I unplugged my. If you called the home phone,
I think ring. I did. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't ring because I don't have anything attached to it.
Good.
I tried to cancel, paying for a landline, and it turned out it would be more expensive if I got rid of it.
If you unbundled.
Do you effing believe that? Jeez. So, whatever. This is this wacky world we live in. Oh, I don't know where to start. I think I do. I want to say I saw a screenshot from, I don't watch Fox News, but I saw a screenshot of a Fox News primetime broadcast. And let me look at, I want to get it so I got it right. Okay. And someone's being interviewed. And, at the bottom is it says Fox News, and then they have a chyron, they have some information there at the bottom, right?
Right.
I remember when TV started with this stuff, where it used to be turned on the TV, and it was just what was there, and then they had the ability to start putting these constant.
Right. So now you're supposed to read something else about what's happening
while listening.
And if I look up there right now, there's also a split screen. So that means that somebody is talking over the pictures of other people talking, and then there is something to read at the bottom. This is how we have trained our brains, and it's why it's why we're no good at anything anymore.
That's right. We don't know how to focus. We can't just sit with one thing. And the studies have been done, and it shows it does have a detrimental effect on how we're taking in any of that information, right? So to me, it's just so much, it's just information is junk. It you just keep peppering it. So anyway, I'm looking at, a triple screen, now that you mentioned split screen. One third is the I forget his name. I think it's Waters or something. I think he took over from whoever. What's his name?
What's his name took over from whatchamacallit? Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad I forgot the second. What's his name? That horrible
Dobbs?
person.
Lou Dobbs.
No. Tucker effing Carlson.
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Oh. No,
yeah,
we've removed those names from our experience.
Yes, it's just unbelievable. So I think it's this Waters person, and then whoever he's interviewing is another third, and then the screen is completed by, I'm looking at Taylor Swift singing, okay? And the thing at the bottom, I know. And they identify. Now I'm looking at the small print more. So it says Fox News Live. They're identifying the guy that's being interviewed as Stuart Kaplan, former FBI agent. Now what's fascinating is this is a news program. They're talking to a former FBI agent about Taylor Swift? What? Try to even imagine what that might be about.
Is she a triple agent on top of everything else? Is she even cooler?
Yeah, you got it. That's what it says. It says in big, bold letters, is Taylor Swift a Pentagon asset?
Oh, for heaven's sake. Well, she's an asset to the country. That's certainly true. She's good for our economy. She's good publicity. But I mean, the Pentagon probably gets some of that tinkling
it turns
down.
Out, if you look at social media much, the MAGA naughts are going berserk. Yeah,
you're supposed to root for the 49ers now because you can't root for the Chiefs because of Taylor.
I saw somebody post something to all of you in San Francisco. I've never said a nice thing about San Francisco because, of course, San Francisco
is like the land of the
Nancy Pelosi and poop on the streets and how it's horrible. Yeah. That's what happens if you get lefties.
You're right.
So they hate on San Francisco, but now MAGA world is rooting for San Francisco because of how much they hate Taylor Swift and Kelsey. And they called Kelsey, the same guy called him the Pfizer guy. They hate him because he did a vaccine ad for vaccine. Yeah, he's been out there about vaccines. Oh my God, you can't make it up. There are people who are saying, I can't even watch football anymore because there she is. And somebody compiled the numbers.
Yeah, they don't show her any more than anyone else.
No, they show her, and it's getting less because it's not so much. So the first time she showed up, they cut away to her 4 times for a few seconds each time. So
I've been watching sports for a long time, and I can promise you that they've always showed people in the crowd of celebrity interest, and they've even showed the wives and girlfriends of players cheering for them,
or the parents,
frequently.
It's God. So, but this
these MAGA people are so easy to enrage. All you have to do is say, pickle. Ah!
It is because they live to be
for rage.
Outraged.
They're hooked on the adrenaline fix of rage. It really is what it is.
No, I agree with that. I absolutely agree. And in fact, I think it was David French was writing, and he said it was sort of a mea culpa of how, even though he lives among them, he himself was relatively conservative, evangelical, blah, 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 blah. And he's always been trying to, explain these folks to people like you and me. And he said the thing he really can't forgive himself for messing up by not understanding how much rage was driving all of it. Just unbelievable anger that, yes, they're addicted to now.
Well, I only know this because I've personally experienced it from my days in actual politics. Lowly and local as it was, it was fueled by rage and excitement and it's very hard to give that up.
Adrenaline.
When I began to see it, I understood what was happening and frankly, moonwalked off of the stage because I thought it was desperately unhealthy. But once I'd experienced it, I see it in everyone.
Well, I think we're all.
No, but I mean the adrenaline junkiness, the extended periods of that stuff is really I will guarantee you can be addicted to your own adrenaline.
Sure. It's like, why do you run? For that runner's high. Why do you, it is, you can create a high. And this one comes easy. And it's also been said that, if you go to one of Trump's rallies, it's just in the air because you're not only feeling that adrenaline, but you're surrounded by other people feeling the adrenaline. And it takes on a, sort of mesmerizing, you are in heaven.
Sure. They're at a revival, for crying out loud.
Yeah. So anyway, they now are so hating on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. It's amazing.
Well, it's fine. It just shows how unserious they are. It's making a mockery of them, of their own selves. It's fine.
I want to know what the former FBI agent could possibly have been saying about how she's a Pentagon asset.
He could show you how she can travel with impunity from anywhere in the world and have access to all the inner workings of everybody. Anywhere she wants to go, she could go.
Right, that's right. And she's accepted president.
She's accepted unquestioningly. It's a no-brainer how you can spin that one.
And she could be a major courier from, who knows what. So still just staying.
Well, and by the way, that's not unusual. During World War II, a lot of those entertainment folks were doing just that.
Yeah. Well, even, was it?
I think it was,
I'm
Audrey
even thinking
Hepburn?
Maybe. I'm even going World War I. There was, no, I can't remember. Anyway, it's often that an actor.
Mata Hari?
I was thinking something about Mata Hari. Wasn't she a entertainer?
Yeah, no? She was a courtesan of some sort, yes.
I don't know. Anyway, so here's this other thing I found. So this is on again, this silly subject. The Super Bowl is going to be on February 11th. As you know, Taylor has been at every game that he's played in since they became an item.
Well, I heard she was going to cancel her concert so she could go.
Well, here's the update. She has a concert in Tokyo on February 10th. She is intending to be at the Super Bowl February 11th.
Oh, yeah, she can do that. And the reason she can do it is because they're virtually a day ahead of us.
That's what I was thinking.
And I know this because I have people in Japan.
Right.
And so she gets like a 12-hour boost. She'll be tired, but and she's in her private jet.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, she can do that easily.
And Bill Crystal tweeted that. So when she shows up in Vegas on the 11th, be prepared for the Trumpers to be convinced that it shows how she has a body double, or she's actually a hologram. Or there's and it's true.
Right, because they don't know about time change and private jets. Okay.
Whatever. Anyway, so there you have it. That's the whole, the Taylor Swift edition of the program.
Well, I'm glad she gets to go. I thought Letterman was the funniest one about the whole thing.
What did he say?
He said, I don't get it. Taylor Swift is dating Kelsey Grammer. Good. What?
That doesn't make sense because he's a right winger. Oh, and I also read something in the New York Times today about Biden's campaign and how they do see her as a true asset.
Oh, absolutely. She tells her, if she tells her peeps to go vote and go vote the right way, they're going to go marching to vote and vote the right way. And once she decided to get political because she got scared that the democracy was not going to be there for into the rest of her life, she decided to use her power.
Here's the thing, though. Aren't most of her crazed fans that do her bidding are too young to vote?
No.
Oh, really?
You haven't been looking at her audiences.
No,
I mean, yeah, she's got a lot of little teeny boppers when she started, but she's been in the business for a long time now, and they've grown up with her.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So they might have been 15 when she was 15, but they're 30 now.
Well, she is one powerful woman.
She's a very powerful woman, and she's no dummy. And,
no.
And frankly, I think she handles the whole thing with so much grace.
Yeah,
I think it's amazing.
I know. She still looks like a regular person. She's not. Yeah, she seems I can't imagine. She can't be that cool.
But she really seems eager to have as normal a life as she can, given that there's absolutely nothing normal about her life. And I mean, all of it just speaks to a certain mental health and confidence and intelligence that whether I don't know anything about her music, but I find her an extraordinarily admirable woman.
Me too. I'm there too, and I don't know her music. I just I love the fact that a woman can have a female entertainer can have that kind of power. And use it well.
There's a bunch of women out there. The same thing. Yeah. It's the same thing about and how am I Jean Carroll?
Jean Carroll. No, actually, Carroll. Well, she did something last night that I found unfortunate.
What did she do? She tarnished everything.
Well, she didn't tarnish everything, but she gave a gift to the other side. And I'm not blaming her. It's just that we live in a time when if you say something jokingly, it can be pulled, right?
Yeah,
out of
used
context,
against and
really used against you. And this happened, I guess she was on Rachel Maddow's show with both of her attorneys flanking her. And I didn't see the clip. Somebody, of course, posted it, and somebody in MAGA world posted it and saying this will be, what did she say? Oh, and then it got reposted right away by that awful, right-winger woman. I can't remember.
What was it?
So it must have been toward the end of the interview, and Maddow says to her, because she had said she wanted to, if she ever got her hands on the money, that she wanted to use it to help women and to help women's rights in some way. And that she would figure out, how to do that. And at the end, I guess Maddow said to her, so just to, understand this better. So what do you think you're going to be doing for women's rights? And she lit up, and her hands came up in the air, and she said, well, Rachel, I'm going to take you shopping. Let's go. We'll buy completely new wardrobes, new shoes. How about Paris? Do you want a penthouse? And she went on and on and on. And everybody was laughing. Her lawyer started to look nervous. And Maddow was laughing a lot. So all these women laughing. And the lawyer said, but you don't really hear it. That's a joke, right? Wanting to get that in there. But no, it'll look.
Yeah, well, here's what I have to say about that, Lynn. It's her money, and she can do whatever she damn pleases with
I am saying it will be used. It will be
Anything she says will be used against her. I liked her first answer the better when she said, well, maybe I'll use it to help all the women that Trump has assaulted. I thought that was a better answer. But the fact is, it's her money. And if she wants to buy high heels with it, that's what she can do.
But she doesn't. I mean, the thing is, this is the world we live in. And I guess we can't walk around, especially if we know every word we're saying is being it'll be misused. You just can't go around.
It's why I won't let our mother answer the phone anymore. I said, because then this is a warning to everybody out there. If you keep picking up those calls that you don't understand and you say anything other than yes, never say yes, never say no. I just wait and hold the phone up to my ear. But don't say anything, because they can be taping everything you say. And then with AI, they can make you sound like you agreed to spend anything you want over the phone. And there are a lot of people.
Why would you even pick that phone up, though?
Well, because a lot of people just do it. And for example, our mother, and I have to keep reminding her, you don't pick up that phone if you don't know the number.
She's gotten better.
She's gotten much better, but she wants to pick it up so bad.
Well, of course, because she's of an era when the phone rang, you picked it up. We were like,
I do have her not. She doesn't say anything when she picks it up anymore, which I think is very good. Because that she remembers. God. But I do want to warn everybody about that. At this point in your life, anything that comes out of your mouth, including hello, can be used against you. And you don't have to be on a stand, and you don't have to be a public figure. You could just be someone over the age of 50 that other people view as scammable. So
what I'm seeing on social media, mentioning AI, already there's stuff out there. Some of it, you can tell can't be right. Others, you can't tell. And they're starting to flag some of it after a while, where they're saying they don't take it down. They just say this appears to be blah, blah, blah. So there's a warning that goes up. There's something out there now showing Biden with some troops, and I didn't bother looking at it, but there was the warning under it. This is not real. So they can do anything now with anybody, and heading into this election. If you think the guys the crap that will be in front of us, and people will fall for it, and I will fall for it, and you will fall for it, we are in no man's land. Don't pick it up, Susan.
I'm trying very hard not to. You'd think by now people would know that I can't talk at a certain time.
No, they don't. I get calls during the show all the time. So, that's, I just want to say we are entering a world that, and it's frightening. I mean, at the same time that journalism is on death's door, and all you've got out there is craziness. Geez. Okay, I don't. This could end up getting depressing, so let's avoid that. This is local, but I gotta share it. There's a bakery in the area that gets a lot of, everybody thinks it's really wonderful stuff. I don't know one way or the other. I'll say for the folks here, Oakmont Bakery, and its owner is, I think, a pretty well-known right-winger. Anyway, he got arrested.
Oh, no. How come?
Well, it appears, he's been accused of shoplifting at a Walmart.
Of course.
And yes, but he had like a whole bunch of packs of strawberries. And he wasn't scanning them. He was just sticking them in and Walmart had him on video doing this. And
he was at self-checkout stealing every other item?
Yeah.
Well, so this is why self-checkouts don't work.
Well, I was mentioning this before. I had said that I hated the whole idea of self-checkout because it cost people jobs, and it made the customer have to do their work. And yet there was no I said, if I'm doing the work,
there should be a discount.
I should get a discount. And I had said, I'm not self-checking out. You're costing people jobs and blah, 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 blah. Well, guess who self-checks out all the time now?
You, because there's a line a mile long.
Yeah.
And so you can also do it faster.
I can do it faster. So I look at but as I did self-checkout, I did realize that it is so easy. I mean, here's what I have tapped myself on the back and thought I'd be a good checker. Well, no, you got some bananas. So I stick bananas on the thing, and then they say, I go to produce lookup, and I look up the produce, and there's bananas, and there's organic bananas.
Oh, right. And they don't know you could put down bananas, even though they're organic.
Exactly. So I'm sure organic bananas are more. So you put bananas. And I realized that, my God, they have to know this. I mean, that people are going to game it as much as they can. And I decided that it was the kickback I deserved for doing.
Oh, my God, Lynn, you're shoplifting.
Yes. Not all the time, every once in a while. So, but no, just in a little way like that. Fuck them.
Well, there's a meme going around that says I called the HR for my W-2. It hasn't arrived yet, and they looked me up and they said, "Well, we don't have you in the system." And the guy said, "Well, I don't understand why. I check myself out every Tuesday." He was asking for his W-2 for using the self-checkout.
Okay. So, wait. So here's the thing. This guy gets caught because they got video. Once they caught him stealing the strawberries, they look back and they find him again and again and again. They found over the last 3 months 8 other thefts by the owner of Oakmont Bakery. And I bring all this up because of the statement that was put out by him and his lawyer. It is the funniest thing. I'm just going to do the one little thing. On a recent trip, as a large volume daily shopper, I have often witnessed and I have personally experienced technical issues with the scanning devices. On a recent trip, I experienced a misunderstanding at the self-checkout. I experienced a misunderstanding, is what the lawyer came up for him to say. What?
Right. I didn't understand I was supposed to pay for all those strawberries.
Yeah. First of all, you can't experience a misunderstanding, can you? It's just the word.
No, you either misunderstand or you don't.
Yeah, you're right.
And that would be the experience. Yes.
He experienced a misunderstanding. Oh, you mean I'm supposed to pay for these? So anybody who's eaten anything from Oakmont Bakery recently that had strawberries on it.
Right, you're an accessory to a crime.
Yeah, you were
receiving stolen goods. You were receiving, but I want you to repent, Lynn Cullen.
Oh my God, Margaret's telling me Trump had his sons go to Oakmont Bakery. I'm not okay. Well, I don't doubt it. I think he's a real Trumper. Yeah.
Well, no, that's fine. And it is no news that his sons are accessories to crimes.
Oh dear God in heaven. So there's all that. Whatever good it's for. And wait. I lost something here. I'm just trying to check in on some. Never mind.
Yes. What?
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at. You never saw Barbie, right? So
No, I did not.
Okay. Well, I have been heartened because it was such a, it was one of those things when Barbie came out. There was so much, people just raving and blah, blah, blah.
Right. There's finally the whisper of a backlash going, nah, it wasn't that great. And nah.
Yes, there's more than a backlash. A few women have finally emerged and are willing to say, you know what? I didn't like it. I admitted I didn't like it right away. And man, that was one, how there's cultural things that just become a juggernaut, and
you're not allowed to say that because it means that you're not a feminist. You must not be a real feminist.
Exactly right. Well, what's her name? Pamela Paul finally wrote one, and she went further than I, but it was headlined "Barbie is bad." There, I said it, and she really sort of pointed out all the reasons she thinks it's a lousy movie. My reasons are more are not as. I first of all felt sensually assaulted by it.
I felt that way about the way La La Land looked too.
Well, I hated that one too.
And I hated that one too. And when I saw Barbie, I immediately just said, that looks like La La Land twice. I don't even want to see it.
Yeah. I was with a friend the other day, and she didn't see it either, but she said, oh, just that pink, all that horrible pink. I mean,
the worst shade of pink.
Yeah. It was just like, I couldn't bear it. And then, frankly, I didn't get it. I have to say, I was bullied into going by girlfriends who went with their daughters. I mean, so I was part of this big group, and the place was packed. And people were laughing at things that I just sat there thinking, what? I was that out of it. And I just want to say, and then the letters that came in from a lot of other women saying, it was some woman, I wanted to like it. I kept thinking maybe I missed something. Well, perhaps I'm the wrong kind of feminist. But that is so women were very uncomfortable saying, what they might have really felt. There was no other response than you loved it, other than you loved it. If you wanted to not, I guess, the other part with me is I never liked Barbies. I never got Barbies. Well, I didn't either.
I sort of had a visceral reaction to Barbies even as a young child.
Yeah,
so Barbie as a feminist icon, when even as a small child, she struck me as exactly the opposite. I didn't get it. And I didn't even know about feminism. It just struck me as that's wrong. And I loved our big Revlon dolls that looked like actual women.
Kinda.
Well, but they were proportioned.
A little better, yeah, they were. Yeah, we had these bigger dolls. Was that what they were called, Revlon dolls?
They were called Revlon dolls. They stood about 14 to 15 inches, and our grandmother made the most spectacular doll clothes for them. Sorry, I used that word that you trained me out of like 15 years ago.
I heard you. I haven't heard you say that in so long. Susan used to, everything was spectacular. You couldn't talk to Susan without hearing spectacular about 20 times an hour. And I did. I totally shut that down.
Well, it's creeping back in, but those clothes really were.
Yeah. I have some.
My daughter does, and now my granddaughter has all of mine.
Well, I have some.
They haven't been played with. I have my dolls, yes.
Well, I don't have any dolls. I have some of the things that Nana made. The beautiful. She even knit stuff. I mean, it was just unbelievably beautiful.
One of my favorite that the doll still has is a purple and pink tweed boat neck sleeveless A-line dress accompanied by a coat out of the same material lined in gold satin with an attached hood with a real mink fur trim around the hood.
Our grandmother could simply look at a dress and then replicate it. You just replicate it.
Or you describe a sweater that you wanted, and she could just, she'd make it.
Yeah.
But I used to design my dresses to wear to the prom if I couldn't find anything, and she'd whip it up.
Jeez. Laura writes about shoplifting. I don't call it shoplifting. I call it getting my 2 cents worth.
So
and
everybody's doing it.
Well, I
think I do it the other way. I just, half the time I go bananas and I hit the code and I go, oh, damn, that was organic.
Or apples. I mean, apples, some apples.
Oh, yeah. Are they giant? Are they bulk? Yeah, right.
No, it's not that. No, like Honey Crisp costs more than some, lowlier form. And how do they know what it is?
Well, here's the good news, guys. They're now going to start phasing them out because they are losing so many.
Know, they're losing
it's cheaper to pay the real people. And honestly, I really am ready to go back to the days when it was fun to shop, when you were treated as a customer, and now it's just backwards. I am still peppered with "tell us how well we did" emails from like a boarding hotel in California for my dog that I used once 5 years ago. When did customer service become "you do what I say," says the business to the customer? I've had it.
Hey, I'm reading Laura's email, and I believe the term is gobsmacked.
Uh-oh.
I didn't even understand at first when I read it. Laura, woo!
Well, if it's going to land her in jail, don't read it.
No. She's going to heaven. Or she's been guilt-tripped into, I don't know. Listen to this. You see how you respond. She says, when I realize the items didn't scan after I get home and have checked my receipt. Well, right there.
Well, you've lost me right there. What's the receipt? The receipt goes in the garbage.
Receipt, right? I don't even. What? And so she goes home and checks the receipt, and she sees that, who knows? The mushrooms are not on here. She says, so I scan the items next time that weren't on the receipt and don't bring them home.
Just scan it twice.
What? No. Oh, you could do that.
Yeah. If you feel bad about it. So, for example, I picked up a bunch of lobster and tails. This is like 2 years ago, thinking that I had so many, and then when I got home, I don't know what it was. I did or I didn't. I called the store. They said they'll have. I didn't have enough or something. They had an extra one waiting for me, free. Blah, 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 blah. I get home and I realize, no, I had exactly what I was supposed to have, and they just nicely handed me like a lot of expensive lobster tails. So I called them back up and I said, I was wrong and I don't deserve these. And they said to me, it's fine.
I'll keep them. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. But at least I didn't have to feel guilty about it.
So, Laura, I think Susan's got it better, because if you scan them next time and don't bring them home, what do? You just leave them there and then they put them back where they belong? Or
you're actually costing them money and employee time.
Anyway, but Laura then says, I know they figure it's a cost of business, but I feel like a felon. Wow.
Yeah, just call them next time.
I don't.
No, but no. I'm telling her what to do because she is an honest human being who doesn't want to steal even inadvertently. All you have to do is call them up and tell them what you did and say, the next time I'm in, I'll drop off the money. And here's what they'll say to you. Oh, that's so nice of you. You don't bother. That's just fine. Thank you very much. Which doesn't mean that you can't still do that, but they really, that's fine. That's fine. It's the people coming in with carts and trying to steal all of it on purpose that they don't like the guy from the bakery who, having done it once, maybe inadvertently, will give it to him. The next 15 times did not. At some point in there, intent is developed such that the police will come and arrest you.
I am just so... Margaret has let us know. She says, I used to rip my sister's baby doll's heads off.
I think there's a lot of that going on amongst siblings because my husband had 5 other kids growing up, and I seem to remember that there were a lot of headless dolls lying around.
Good God. Okay, so what's this word mean? One of the people talking about Barbie said, I am pro-feminist, but I found Barbie to be misandrous. Misanthropic? Misandrous?
I don't know what, maybe it's against andresses.
Well, it sounds like it might. What does that mean? Misandrous. Drous. Against humans? Like misanthropic kind of.
Wait a minute. If my iPad absolutely does not recognize my face.
Well, okay, so
spell the word MIS.
ANDROUS. So
ANDIOS.
No, DROUS. Misandrous.
Don't yell
I didn't mean to sound so.
Okay, misandrous. Adjective edit. Misandrous. Comparative more misandry. What does that mean? Misandry. Misandry is the hatred of, contempt for, or prejudice against men or boys.
Oh, okay.
Men's rights activists and other masculinist groups have characterized modern laws concerning divorce, domestic violence, conscription, circumcision, and treatment of male rape victims of examples of institutional misandry.
Good God. Whatever.
Well, every group's got a name.
Everybody's got a... Yeah. Laura's written back and say, I use the Shop and Scan app. I don't even know what that is. Oh, you mean where you can scan an item on the shelf? Never mind. I scan the item and put it back on the shelf. I tried paying once. My daughter was little and the clerk was nasty and said I couldn't do it. If she scanned it, I had to take it. Life is so anxiety causing. I'm with you on that last part.
It's hard to do right when you can't even keep track of your keys. I mean, I so get it.
Oh, God. Life is so anxiety-inducing. Ain't that the truth?
Well, I don't know. I have to, if you can hit 70, I sort of have just given up. I mean, not that I'm not anxious, but I'm not as anxious because, the only thing left to be anxious about is dying, and why be anxious about that? So there's the end of that.
Well, I can hear a lot of people saying, what do you mean, why be anxious about that?
Because it's going to happen one way or the other.
Of course, but I mean, that doesn't mean you can't be anxious about it. I mean, you're going to the dentist to get a bunch of teeth pulled. It's going to happen, and you're anxious. I mean, it doesn't matter that, Hey, I brought this up, Susan, once before. This is getting a little more serious here. About when Texas first, put up that barbed wire, razor wire, and kept the feds off of from doing what the feds do, which is they are in charge.
They are the keepers of the border, of the national borders, yes.
Right. So then, the courts got involved, and the Supreme Court, ladies and gentlemen, told Texas it was wrong, right? And that the feds had to have access. That was, I think, like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yep, and he's not doing it.
He won't let them.
He's trying to force an armed conflict with
Yeah, he is. So he's trying. He is, if you're old enough, this is like George Wallace standing in the school doorway saying those black kids are not coming in here, even though the Supreme Court had said that school segregation was unconstitutional. And that was like 5-6 years
that bunch of states' rights guys out west, who had the armed conflict with the,
Right. But you know what? What happened immediately, so there is Texas defying the Supreme Court, and then, maybe I didn't see this, 25 other Republican governors, that's half the states, issued a statement endorsing what Texas was doing.
No, so they're all going to secede, are they?
They are. Now they're all going to secede. And it said, they put out a thing saying, we stand in solidarity with our fellow Governor Greg Abbott and the state of Texas. And one of them, these geniuses, Governor Kristi Noem, South Dakota.
Yeah. Oh, that awful woman. Yes.
Oh, she was on Fox News, and she was explaining the principle that these governors were standing up for. And when I first saw this, I roared. She said this: Texas and those 13 original colonies would have never signed the treaty that formed the first Constitution of the United States.
Right.
But they didn't think that...
Texas wasn't one of the 13.
No,
it was the 13 plus Texas. I didn't know Texas got to sign too. Texas was Mexico. So that's cool.
Effing believable.
Texas was Mexico. I mean, we all forget.
They would never have signed the Declaration if they'd known this. It actually, it was a territory of Spain. It didn't become a state until 1845. And when it did, it agreed to obey the Constitution.
As you all did.
So listen, before Wallace stood in the doorway, 3 years after the Supreme Court ended segregation in the public schools, Brown v. Board of Education, the Arkansas governor, one Orville Faubus.
I remember him.
Yeah, sure. He deployed Arkansas's National Guard to prevent 9 black kids from going to Little Rock Central High School. You imagine. Yeah.
Republicans have liked to pick on children for decades. It's amazing to me.
Especially black children.
As they scream pedophilia, they're just picking on children right and left.
I just want to say that the president then was Dwight Eisenhower, and he warned Faubus. Faubus held firm. And Eisenhower, listen to this, citing the 1807 Insurrection Act, sent federal troops, to escort those students into their new school. And Eisenhower grabbed the Arkansas National Guard and federalized it, taking it out of Faubus's hands.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
There's a president using power. I wish Biden would do something, but I can see where, again, in this day and age, I think we have a call, Susan. I want to let him in. Hello.
Why don't we just let them secede and be done with it?
Yeah,
well, there's that.
Let's take all our infrastructure. Let's take all our infrastructure and tax money and all. Those people will be dying. I mean, holy cow! And then they'll have a migration of all the people with their brains still intact coming north. Screw them. I'm so done with it. I mean, I watched I was watching interviews where people would like to elect Donald Trump dictator. Last night, I'm like, really? I mean, it's that nuts now. So it's like, just get out of there. It's like, here, you're on your own. You want to be the 1-star state, and you and stupid Florida, go. But I'm just so, it's like we're wasting our time with them. We can't fix stupid anymore. But
never could. I know. I couldn't agree with you more. Bye.
See you later.
He said, "But."
Hey.
Oh, I did. Yeah. What?
Isn't rooting for San Francisco because you hate Kelsey and Taylor so much? Aren't you rooting for California values?
Yeah. Well, that's what's got them all in a twist, because Kansas is a pretty red state, and so they should be rooting for, if their politics, they should be rooting for Kansas. But damn that Kelsey. He's
just feminized the whole idea of football, I'll tell you.
He gets vaccines. He stoops Taylor Swift.
Okay, is it all about the vaccines, or is there more of the story I'm not aware of?
It's more. It's culture war stuff. It's they know.
It's not about anything. Democrat. I mean, yes.
It's rage. It's performative rage. They just love it. They bounce from one thing that sets them off to
That's
another.
why it never makes sense. That's why you can say, wait a minute, you're rooting for California? And, because it has nothing, there is no ideology other than to be mad at whatever you're instructed to be mad at.
I wish I had enough energy to be mad, but it's just so exhausting.
You sound exhausted.
Well, I've been sick for the past 2 weeks.
Oh, you sound like it. Okay. Oh.
And there's been a lot going on in my life and my family, and it's just it's been an exhausting 2 weeks. So, but I flipped on the news for 5 seconds last night. I went, oh my gosh, I got to turn it back off again.
Yeah, don't watch news.
No, if you're fighting, your body is fighting. You don't need that. Did you have COVID?
No, I tested positive. No, I don't think I had the flu. I don't know what I had, but
RSV. Might be RSV. There is this thing going around that is a cough that doesn't go away for like a month.
Yeah.
And people feel better, but they keep sounding like they're dying after about 3 weeks.
So here's the thing that you two probably are obviously understand this. It really came home from me and my family. So it's not a tragic story outside of the fact that my mom had dementia, but because she just wasn't here for the past, let's say, 5 years or so.
Yeah,
and she was 89 years old, and she lives in an assisted living, and they require everybody goes in to wear a mask and everything, which I have no problem with. But I noticed that all the staff, they don't wear masks in there. Well, 2 Wednesdays ago, my mom caught a cold, and a couple of days later, it turned into pneumonia, and then a week later, she was dead. Okay, and quite honestly, I mean, it was merciful.
Yes, doesn't mean your mom didn't die. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is what I try to say is, like, what if she had a full, vibrant life, and somebody who just is stupid is just? I mean, somebody gave her a cold. I have a sister with cancer. She's going under. I don't want her to get a cold. It's like this stuff is very. we have to use our brains, and this is supposedly a healthcare industry, and somebody brought it into her, and it's like, that's why we have to be careful. So that's my little soapbox. Sorry about that.
Well, yeah, I'm very sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Well, but we also, we had a cousin that was he also in his 80s, but he was recovering from a stroke, and someone brought COVID into the facility. So killed him. Yeah.
Yeah. So
wear your mask, people. But how could they not? I don't understand the employee thing. I mean, why are they telling people who come in to wear masks and not making their employees? It makes absolutely no sense.
Well, maybe their employees are all MAGA people and they won't. And so
I think you're right. You're right.
I'm right.
They're in Trump country. It's just,
all right. All right. Well, get better, Roger. Sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Have a nice day. Try to stay warm today.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Staying warm is not the issue, at least in the Midwest.
Yeah. It's been it depends. Susan, I was saying yesterday, well, I won't repeat myself because people don't need to hear it again. The New York Times Sunday magazine, like a few weeks ago, did this thing about why are American drivers so deadly. And I read it, and we kill more people. Other countries do not kill people on the roads as much as we do. And one amazing fact is that in Germany, on their famous Autobahn, which I don't believe has,
it doesn't have a speed. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't have a speed limit. The traffic fatality rate on the German Autobahn with no speed limit, where cars sometimes blow by you doing 120, their death rate is 3 times lower than ours. Now, I think it's because Americans are self-centered assholes. And driving is a social, without a doubt. But people wrote back and they said, here's the other thing. To get a driver's license in Germany or in the UK or in a lot of other countries, you gotta jump through a lot of hoops. You've gotta do a lot of education, a lot of testing. You have to do hours of classroom sessions, hours of behind the wheel, and a test which would, believe me, most American drivers would fail. So what we do in this country is we hand out driver's licenses like candy.
Well, for example, Mother's driver's license just expired on her birthday last year when she was 101. She was granted that license 10 years before, just here's a 10-year license. Even she looked down, she looked up, she said, I'm 91. You're giving me a license for 10 years? Yep.
I remember having dinner with, he's now gone, as is his wife. It's a long time ago. But he was legally blind. He even had a seeing eye dog. He just trying to game the thing. He went in and actually renewed his license, his driver's license. When he told me the story, I said, "Are you kidding me?" No. So
all they wanted was the fee. They didn't even. How did he?
I don't know.
They checked my eyes every time.
I don't know, Howie. I don't know. I can't remember because I said, "How the hell?" I think he made up some excuse. I don't know. But he gamed it, and because he was a nice old man, I don't know. I know he wasn't lying to me. By the way, he didn't really need that dog. He saw a little bit because that was the worst behaved, seeing eye dog I've ever known. You know how most of them, you're not supposed to
sit quietly.
this dog, he would walk in. We were at a restaurant and the dog was with him because he was a, seeing eye dog. And this dog, his tail's wagging. He's talking to people. I remember thinking, this is not a normal seeing eye dog. So the seeing eye dog was game in the system. And so his name was Paul. God bless him. Okay, but the other driving thing is, I just have to quickly say this because it made its way into the letter section on this issue. Last time I got caught speeding was on the Ohio Turnpike, and I pulled over. Yeah, we did the thing, and then as he was leaving, he said, "Do you have any questions?" And I said, "Well, yeah." I said, "Why do they make cars that go 100 miles per hour if that's against the law all over the country?" And man, if that Ohio State trooper didn't look at me with his quizzical look and said, "That's a good one. I never thought about that." And that's what somebody said in the letters here. Why do car manufacturers make cars that go so fast? Why? I'm just asking. If it's against the law. Just asking. And I will leave you with that.
Well, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, it is true.
It's sort of like self-checkout. You have to be self-enforcing.
Well, and we know how that works.
Well, we know how it works on the highway, too.
All righty.
All right. Well, I'm going to go and prove our point as soon as I load the old car.
All right. We'll drive carefully. It's mostly because there's a lot of crazy people out there who don't know how to drive, okay?
No, I do my best to stay within what would be a finable legal limit and to, at the same time, avoid being around any other cars as much as possible because they simply present a danger. I never understood those people that like to drive right next to you.
Ugh. All right.
Okay.
Gotta go.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. And I'll be back on Wednesday, which happens to be tomorrow. See you then.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.